Joining us now is a man who
Miss you, Takate.
could be a doctor, we assume.
Love you, Takate.
And the only reason why we're saying that is because what his body is doing is something that no other body has ever been able to do. And obviously it's being super publicized as we follow along. This guy's defying all expectations with a recovery to a Achilles that is normally, I don't want to say career altering, but at least season ending. Now he's already doing dropbacks like 46 days after surgery. Ladies and gentlemen, the 4-time NFL MVP, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
He looks super cool.
What are you guys wearing? It's incredible.
So I'm Lolita or Takate, depending upon when you meet me. I'm a Buddhist whale that died before I could get on a 757 that Jim Irsay was paying for and fly to the ocean in the Pacific Northwest. AJ is perfect as...
Harambe?
I'm the whale Harambe.
No.
I'm the whale
Okay.
Harambe. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I thought AJ might be Harambe, but I guess he's scissor hands.
Mm-hmm.
Edward.
Yep. Edward.
Yep.
I thought you might be Chuck Berry, AJ.
The greatest guitar player of all time? No, I chose not to be him today.
He went with the other.
Who are you, Aaron? You look super cool. Yeah. Happy Halloween.
Yeah, happy Halloween. I had my costume on last night, but
what was it?
Couldn't wear it today. I apologize.
Fouch? What was it?
A vaccine?
A doctor? A scientist?
It was a spike protein.
Oh, I've heard about this. I've heard about it. It's a brand new one, right? This is a brand new one. This is the multi, I think. I just heard about this yesterday. You're always on top of it, of course. That's why you should have been a doctor. Anyways, let's move along. Let's talk about your doctors. We're dropping back and passing, dude. What's going on? Mustache looks awesome. Okay, the bubble gum, big bubble, pop it. So cool, so relaxed. Last week, you kind of sandbagged it. You said, there's no progressions. I'm kind of getting bummed out about the recovery, the rehab. Nothing really happening. And then the next time we see you, you're doing 3-step drops, walking very casually, and absolutely spinning it. Where are we right now, and how pumped were you to feel this type of motion this quickly after the Achilles surgery?
I mean, that felt great, honestly. I got my super dad shoes on. They're the rockers. You can tell they have basically a little, half circle on the bottom. It allows me to get from my heel to my midfoot to my toe pretty easily. And last week was a tough week of rehab, but we kind of adjusted some things with the shoes and with my insoles. And later in the week, I really started to progress kind of back onto what I was doing a few days before that. And that was honestly the goal, was to just kind of keep on getting better, be able to do a little bit more. I've been doing more of my rehab and feeling like I can, kind of get into a little abbreviated left, right drop. And I just felt normal just to be out there and messing around with Timmy a little bit and play catch and just feel like I was, part of it. That's what it's all about. That's why I've been flying back here to see the guys and encourage them, be on the headset. And, but yeah, for me, that's just fun to be able to feel like, just kind of a part of it, not too distant from the squad.
We talked to Thomas Morstead yesterday, who had a massive game, obviously, just absolutely.
MVP of the game, man. He was incredible.
Yeah, he's really good. Has been really good for a long time, too. And he told us that he grew the mustache, in honor of you. Because, he said a lot of guys signed on this team because Aaron Rodgers was going to be our quarterback, and we were excited for it. And then he said you can kind of already see how the movie is being written about this particular season, with how it was supposed to go, then the adversity that comes 4 plays into this, and then the recovery and how it could end with the Jets sticking around. Are you still dreaming big dreams? And whenever you talk to the guys, what are the conversations like? Because it feels like their admiration for you in that locker room is through the roof. I hope you feel that.
Well, we made some great connections over the 3 months, that I was there after the trade and, into the slight little break and back for training camp. Thomas is one of them. We had him, myself, and kind of the older guys, Greg Zerloin, Al Woods. We're all a part of a squadron, a team for the Navy SEALs came in and did some cool stuff and showed us how to clear rooms and team building stuff. And we're all part of Team Zulu. So we have this kind of this little celebration we do for each other. We like make a Z with our hands. And there was a lot of that going on Sunday because both those guys had incredible games and they've been so steady for us. But there's a real tight knit bond on the team, and especially with some of the older guys who've been around for a long time and been to other places, and just you feel how special the vibe is that we have and the connection with the guys. And I'm thankful for that. It's fun to be back. Just where I'm at in the locker room, I get to spend time with the some of the older vets and the D linemen over in my corner for whatever reason. It's like Q Jeff, Al Woods, John Franklin Myers, Dwayne Brown's over there. So we're always having some fun conversations. I miss those times. There's nothing like it. You guys know, there's nothing like the locker room and cutting up and figuring out the problems of the world, in between meetings like we always do. But I'm thankful for Thomas. He's become a good friend. His wife doesn't really know my name. She called me the wrong name when she met me. She called me Andrew. So I'm not sure who she thought I was, but that's a little joke. That's a little joke between Thomas and I and Daphne. I don't even know. I think her name is Diane or Daphne or something, but it's probably neither of those. But no, I love Thomas, man. What a great guy. What a weirdo in the best way. You watch him after he punts it and he sprints down to the guys and then sprints off the field. And but him and Greg and Hennessy have been doing a great job, and our teams have been really good. Our special teams have been really, really good. We got a legit returner, and then we've been covering kicks well. Obviously, our defense has been incredible, and offensively, we've gone through our struggles for sure. But they don't, like we say in golf, they don't drop pictures in the scorecard. They don't really drop pictures, in the standings either. A win is a win, and those ones seem to always count a little bit more late in the season. Being 4-3 now and coming away with a win in that ugly game is going to make things a little bit more interesting as we get into November and December.
Because you're 4-3, everybody's dreaming those big dreams still. Yeah? Do we feel, we're still motivated, inspired to do that?
For sure. I mean, the goal is to come back, and the goal is to be able to have that conversation. Again, there's still a lot that has to happen. Every week seems to be there's a progression. Sometimes when you're in it, it doesn't feel like anything's happening and you're just stagnant. There's some sort of plateau. But then you look back and think, I was walking on crutches, with about a month ago. Now I'm able to take some drop backs, put legitimate weight onto it, transfer my weight, get onto my front foot, do really high percentage body weight walking and calf raises, and we're just progressing. So it's really good. There's still a long way to go, and a lot of things have to happen. We obviously have to be still alive, but God, I love the vibe on the team. I'm proud of our guys. I'm really proud of Zach there late in the game with 2 huge throws and a clock with a second left to get us into position. I'm proud of the fact that we lost our top 2 centers and Tippmann was out. And we're playing with a guy who just got promoted from the P squad at center, and Billy Turner, who's been a long time, mostly tackle in the league, playing right guard. So really proud of the guys up front, the way we battled. Again, wasn't a pretty game, but that shit doesn't matter, at the end of the season when you're vying for playoff spots. That one counts in the W column.
Yeah, and if you're still alive for a guy who's 39 who has an Achilles to come back and still be in it for, who cares how you win? Now, they will say, no, the ref didn't touch that ball when it was spotted. But, hey, who cares? Want your way. Got to keep it moving. AJ has a question for you, Eric.
You mentioned how tight your team was and the culture and everything and how you guys get along so well. Is that, how do you build that? Is that simply just bringing in the right type of people, or it's obviously bringing in the right type of people and then putting them in positions? How does that happen? I'm sure you've been on, obviously, teams over the years where that, comes and goes with how well the team gets along compared to other times when maybe they're not as tight.
No, we've been on a lot of those teams together, and you and I would sit and talk about a lot of this stuff, about the chemistry that we have, about guys coming together and the camaraderie. I think a lot of it is just the culture, foster an environment where you're allowed to have the freedom in a locker room of expression and then also encouraging guys to get together. I think that's a really important part of it. Encouraging guys to spend time outside the facility together and build those friendships and those connections and get to know each other's significant others and families and kids. And I think that's a really, really important part of it. And I think Robert does a great job of that. Is, the kids are always around. So, I saw some people talking about, me doing random handshakes with random kids. Those aren't random kids. That's like that's Jackson Downing that we have our own handshake together. That's Todd Downing, our quarterback coach's son. I got a handshake with Adam Saleh, Robert's oldest, who's around all the time. And that stuff, I love that stuff. Seeing my little godson, Cade, and his brother, Cass, at practice, Randall's kids is awesome. And then getting to meet, I joke about, Tommy's wife not knowing my name, but getting to meet him and his kids and getting to meet his kids and his wife and having the coaches' wives around. It's an environment it really feels like a family. And I give Coach Saleh and Joe Douglas and the freedom that Woody allows for all those people to be around. I think it's really, really important to create an environment where, guys are connected and it's a big family feel.
It feels like what they have going on is not normal in a lot of places, which is why you wonder why the Jets have been in this position for so long, because it feels like the building is being run right. Maybe it's a new group, but also, could you imagine in New York City, this old-ass man tears his Achilles, fourth play, comes back, leads a team to success for the first time in, 50 years or something like that? Mm-hmm. Oh, my God, Aaron. That'd be a cool Halloween costume people would wear forever. The guy that flipped the Jets organization on its head in New York City. Matt Canada has a question for you, man.
Yeah, Aaron, first and foremost, I saw that the watch you designed dropped. Congratulations on the watch. It looks sweet.
Hell yeah, seen that?
Yeah.
There
look
it
at
is.
that.
Wow.
How much is that? Never mind. Congrats on the deal. That's what I'll say. Congrats on the deal. That's awesome.
But unfortunately, Kirk tore his Achilles this weekend. Have you or will you reach out to Kirk, or has he reached out to you potentially for some advice?
Yeah, I talked to a couple different people yesterday who had mentioned that he might want to reach out, and I asked him to pass along his number, and I actually got to talk to him on the phone yesterday. I really like Kirk, and I've competed against him over the years, and I have a lot of respect for him, and just got to talk to him. Hopefully, encourage him a little bit. It's sucks. Definitely sucks. He was playing really, really well, especially, what a crazy situation. Everybody's trying to write him off and say that everybody's going to get traded there and, they're going to blow that thing up, and then they win a few in a row. And everybody said, oh, now they're a playoff team, and Kirk's obviously playing excellent. So disappointed for him in that injury, but passed along, all the information I could and let him know what's been working for me. Not sure what he ends up doing, but also, unfortunately, Al Woods, my buddy, my homie, my teammate, had the same thing. And so because the rehab's been great, because I feel so good, obviously people have been interested in what I'm doing. And I've just been passing along what's been working for me. Obviously, I'm a big believer in Dr. Elatrosh, big believer in Heather and Double A and her staff at Elite doing the rehab, and so that's the direction I'd probably point anybody to do. But just depends on what they're willing to do and how much freedom they have to get out west. But definitely the type of surgery I did, I think is going to be way more mainstream moving forward. It's not for everybody. It's not for every body type.
Why is it not for everybody? Right there. Is it for the recovery process? Is it because you have to be in LA? Why is it not for everybody?
I think both of those things are part of it. The other, how quick do you want to come back? I said, let's come back as quick as possible. But Kirk's in no rush. He's not going to be able to make it back for this season. Al, same thing. And Al, Al's a big man. Al's, weighs north of 300 pounds. And not necessarily needing to get back on his feet and get moving right away. So it's not for everybody, but there's nobody better than Neil. And I would send anybody to him that was interested. But again, it just depends on logistics and a lot of the other things. But I'm in the conversation now when there's an Achilles, and we had an Achilles factory brewing out west with myself and JK and T White and AVT and who else now. We'll see.
Hey, that's obviously hopefully nobody, but it does feel like there's been more Achilles this year. Have you noticed that as well? And what is your take on that as somebody that's obviously a part of that discussion?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know if you can really point to anything. Kirk got hurt on grass. I got hurt on turf. Al got hurt on turf. I'm not sure what D. White got hurt or J.K., but it just, I think there's some fluke injuries that happen from time to time. Kirk looked like he pump faked, and I don't know if they were running, some sort of double move with a seam on the backside, but like they like to run. But that just looked like a thing he's done 100 times. Pump one way, reset back, throw a seam, and you could tell by the video, you saw kind of the reverberation of his leg up and down. When I saw that, I knew it was going to be Achilles.
Yeah, it's just,
Sucks.
if you guys are able, and I'm saying you guys as if, you're a part of the Achilles factory, which you are. You're a massive part of it. You're the reason why we're kind of talking about it. If we can expedite the Achilles, right? Like the ACL used to be, okay, it's over. Then science has kind of done its thing, and surgery is kind of expedited a little bit, and it's not. It's like, all right, you'll be back. The Achilles still, even in like 2020, was like, you're done. Basically, you're definitely done. If this is able to get sped up quickly, all sports are going to reap the benefits from this. This is a huge deal, I think, for science as a whole, which is why I said the other day, this dude's relationship with science is wild. It really is. Because you're in a part of it. You're a part of the whole conversation, Aaron. All of it.
Well, if science can't be questioned, then it's not science anymore. It's propaganda. So I think with any type of science, or in this case, medicine, I think there always has to be trial and error and new ways of doing things. And, a shoulder injury. So that's the way these things have progressed. There's some brilliant minds who've been doing this. Obviously, there's multiple people who've had this surgery now, so it has, some traction. But I'm thankful for Neil and thankful for guys like Cam Akers who went through this and came back quickly. But there's more than one way to do things for sure. I'm excited about my rehab, and when you have a full rupture of your Achilles, like it has been a death sentence in the past for athletes. Sunday it was about 50 and raining and windy, so it might have been too cold for him. I understand.
How was your throws? We didn't see the other side of it. Good? We assume you were, yeah?
Yeah, I was throwing some darts. It was good. It was real good. Yeah, let's show a couple more. Yeah.
Boom. Ooh. That was a dart right there, though. Good throw. We need to know that's a good throw.
There were some good ones. Yeah, I was hitting the spots. Yeah.
Any misses at all? Like, did we bat like 900, 950?
Well, I didn't have any like real shitty throws. I had maybe a couple that were a little bit off, slightly, foot off target, but nothing real.
Okay.
Crap.
All right, so we're back. All right, so we're back. I love that. AJ, go ahead, Edward.
Do you know if you have any kind of, whenever you do get back on the field, whenever that may be, any kind of like restrictions or even maybe special shoes? You're going to wear some high top that goes up to your knee on your left foot? Like, what's the plan? I would assume you already have that in the process right now.
Are you wearing some big gothic boots yourself right now? Is that why you're asking?
No, I am not. I assume I can't wait to watch you wear like one normal shoe on your right and then one of those giant Dan Marino high tops on your left.
No, I think the thing we got to remember is I need to be able to move. Otherwise, why the hell would I come back? Like I need to be able to play from under center and get to an outside zone handoff and get to a keeper and be able to move in the pocket. Otherwise, I'm not doing our team, myself, my career any favors. So I need to be able to move. And so a lot needs to happen before that. I'm not even jogging yet. I'm just taking some nice drop backs. So a lot's got to happen. I think that now that the walking has really normalized and I'm able to walk, pretty normal, pretty standard, that I think things can progress, into jogging and moving. But listen, today is what? Today is Tuesday.
October 31st. It's Halloween. Happy Halloween. You look cool.
Hey, thank you. It's 7 weeks and a day since the surgery. Since the injury. Tomorrow will be 7 weeks since the surgery. So we're ahead of schedule, but we still got a long way to go.
Darius has a question for you.
Yeah, speaking about that schedule, I know the last few times you've been on here, you've saying you want to stress the Achilles, but not stretch it. And now with drop backs, and now you're saying you're walking normal as well. Are you at the point now where you can stretch the Achilles?
Yeah, DB, this is an important time of the recovery of the tendon. 6 to 12 weeks is when there's a lot of healing that goes on. I feel like that window is a little quicker because usually 6 to 12 weeks is when you finally get some weight on it. And most people are just kind of coming out of a boot 6 to 8 weeks, and definitely not in a shoe. Once you get into the shoe, you're getting, obviously more movement there. The tissue fibers, the muscle fibers are starting to turn on more. There's obviously more blood flow going there. Because I was in a shoe within a couple weeks, we've accelerated that process significantly. We've been very, very careful with not trying to mess this thing up.
Yep.
And so we have kept a real keen eye weekly on the not just the strength of the tissue in my calf, but the actual structural integrity of that. So we've been checking on that weekly so that we're not stretching that thing out. And some of that is just looking at how it's kind of laying when you're in a prone position and just kind of and your legs are up, just making sure that we haven't stretched that thing out too far. And the other part is actually doing some ultrasound stuff to make sure that the integrity of that is staying in place. There is blood flow there. There's no tearing or micro tearing of the injury spot where the rupture was, where the sutures are. Everything looks normal. So we're being really, really smart with this. Obviously, we're pushing it as well. But my schedule has been accelerated because, like I said, 6 to 8 weeks. A lot of people just getting out of a boot. And I was there at a couple weeks. So
Yeah, you're certainly accelerating the entire process. We're all watching it. Whenever you talk about the angle of your foot, are we keeping that thing at 90? Is that the goal right now? We an obtuse angle there? You know what I mean? We get a little bit bigger. What is is that the goal right now, is just to keep that thing locked up, or how is it?
it's to keep it at an obtuse angle. So we got to be above 90 right now. That's making sure that it's as safe as possible. We got to be really careful with the plantar flexion and building up all the muscles around it and starting to work in some cardio.
Oh, what are we doing? Upper body?
What are you doing?
Yeah, a lot of VersaClimber, Total Gym, Chuck Norris.
Bam.
Okay.
A little bit of Tybo.
Bowflex?
Shake weight?
Dance Revolution.
Nice.
CDR.
Have you ever seen there's that one video of somebody just absolutely crushing it.
Those are
You got to use that back banister. That's what you got to use to kind of balance your feet, I think, is what you have to do. I'm not an expert, but I think I've seen one.
Can you walk on the beach?
No, that's not very smart.
When could you, though? That's great rehab, though. Will you be able to walk on the beach before you play again?
Is that the final test?
Oh.
Well, again, we got to get to 90 first, but we don't need to get to 90 today.
Slow down, Edward.
Jeez.
Just answer the question,
Slow
bro.
down, Edward.
God, Brad.
Jeez. Aaron, this guy.
It's great rehab. Walking on the beach is unbelievable rehab for your feet, ankles, all of it.
And it's romantic.
I understand. It also puts you in plantar flexion past 90 degrees. So we're not
Idiot.
we're not gonna do
Okay.
this.
Yeah, that's why you have scissors for hands and not, utensils for medicine. You're not a
Scalpel.
doctor. Yeah,
Fool.
scalpel. There it is. You idiot.
Yeah, you don't understand science.
You do that.
You're right. I
We've heard
don't,
that,
actually.
right? Hey,
Big science.
we're a big science show.
Huge.
Big
Massive.
science. Nobody talks about that. You know what else nobody talks about? The authority Pete Thamel has a question for Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, Aaron, we had you on a couple weeks ago, and you kind of mentioned, with when it came to Devontae Adams, hey, even when he's not open, he's open. You just got to kind of pepper the football at him. And then obviously with the trade deadline being today, and then the Raiders getting gobsmacked last night by the Lions on Monday Night Football. Is there anything that can happen in Vegas for them to kind of right this ship with Devontae? Because boy, does it look bad. He's pretty pissed off. He's screaming, slamming his helmet, and rightfully so. I mean, they left about 180 yards and 2 touchdowns out there for him. But do you see there being any world where he gets traded? Is a kind of a clean start, new page of the book, the best move for him here? Or do you see a path in which they can kind of right this wrong in Las Vegas with Devontae and Jimmy G?
Well, I hope he gets traded because we play him in a couple weeks. So I hope he's not there because he's still the most dynamic receiver in the league. And obviously there's some frustration last night. I didn't see the game. I was keeping tabs on it, but we had our watch reveal, so I couldn't watch it.
Oh,
But
what a night. I watched
I did see a couple of the opportunities that they had, and I think he was, obviously a little bit upset, but he's a very, very valuable player. So whoever is going to want him is going to have to pay up, I'm sure. I don't know why you would move him because he's a generational talent, but hopefully he's. Listen, I'd love to see him in a couple weeks if he's there and catch up, give him a hug. But I wouldn't be disappointed if he wasn't there when we played him.
So Schefter has come out and said that his sources within the Raiders, and we've obviously read a text that you have sent Schefter in the past, and obviously your thoughts on the insider game for sure. But he said his sources at the Raiders say there's no chance in hell that Devontae Adams is moved today. Kind of goes to the point that you said, like, is a generational talent. But you start looking at the future over there, Aaron, and this isn't for you to do. Obviously, you're a Jet, but like, who's going to be the coach there, guys? Is it just going to be Josh? Is it still going to be Josh McDaniels? What does 2 years look like from now? And then are we just wasting a couple years of one of the greatest wide receivers of all time's career? But I guess what Shannon Sharp said earlier, which is a valid point, like, that's what he signed up for whenever he went to Las Vegas. It's an interesting game, this trade deadline, because I appreciate the fact that players are getting moved now. For instance, Josh Dobbs just got traded to the Minnesota Vikings.
Wow.
Josh Dobbs just got traded from the Arizona Cardinals to the Minnesota Vikings. Now, he was announced as the starter by head coach Gannon immediately after last week's game. And then yesterday, Gannon came out and said, it's going to be Terry Kyler going to be starting. And everybody's like, what happened? Literally just the other day, you said, and this is what he actually said.
Josh will start, but then what changed between last?
Yeah, just watching the tape again, talking with the staff. Feel like this gives us the best chance to win.
Yeah, I watched the tape again. The guy stinks, which also could mean he's not going to be on our team.
Yep.
We are actually now in a position with how great that rocket scientist played. He is now very valuable potentially on the trade market. He's going to Minnesota. Congrats to the Vikings for doing that. How do you feel about the trade deadline, Aaron? Obviously, your name's been brought up a couple times throughout your career at the trade deadline here, more so as of late than early in it. But how do you feel about teams making moves and those players getting acclimated to the new teams that they're joining?
I don't remember my name being mentioned a whole lot at trade deadlines, but
Denver, what was that, off-season? Denver was off-season?
That was off-season, yeah.
Got it.
And
My
there
fault.
there was a possibility of a trade to the Raiders years and years ago for Randy Moss that I felt like may have had some legs, but that was like in 2006 or 7, I feel like. But it's exciting. I think there's going to be some surprises. I really do. We got a few more hours left. I think there'll be a couple big surprises. Obviously, this is way different than it was early in my career. There's buyers and sellers, and expiring contract guys who can really, really play and help a team out, are probably there's a potential to move them if people are willing to get off a draft pick. So I think it's exciting. I know, we're going to be active in discussions and conversations. Not sure what's going to happen. Obviously, we've had some injuries in the last couple of days, but I'm sure that Joe and his staff will be working right up to the final minute. And I would guess, this is just a guess, I think there's going to be a couple names that are really surprising. Nobody that you've mentioned yet. I can't even give you specifics. I'm not some sort of insider. I have no sources here. But I feel like there'll be a couple names that are surprise us by the end of today that get moved. And it'll be some of those teams that feel like they're one player away from winning it. So anybody from, Philly, who's always really active, it seems like, to the teams that are in that, 3-4, 4-4, 4-3 range, who feel like one player away from making a run to playoffs and maybe winning the whole thing, could be really active here in the next couple hours.
Oh, is this punditry or a little bit of knowledge? What is this? Just how you see it going? What is this here? Should we?
It's a feeling that this is going to be more the norm.
Universe.
And I think Montez Sweat got traded, right?
This morning. Yep.
He's a hell of a player. And I think there's going to be more guys like that who are either on expiring contracts or disgruntled, or on a team where things aren't working out, and maybe the GM thinks it's going to be, players, a new head coach, and maybe even themselves, and they might make some moves. So this will be the norm, I think, moving forward for a while, and I think there'll be some more big names here in the next couple of hours.
Well,
I don't know, but maybe Schefter probably knows better because he's ball washing. He's ball washing for a lot of people.
Jeez, he's an insider. Jeez. But to echo your point, though, there was a lot of heat or a lot of smoke coming. Like the Vikings are going to get a quarterback. A starting quarterback in the NFL this season just got traded to be a starter at another place. That's a pretty big deal on a team that's gone to.
And I saw Jameis was involved at one point. I see his name this morning too. Like he might be the one to get traded.
What if J-Mo's back?
Sweet.
Could you imagine?
Well, he's not going to. I don't think he's going to go to Minnesota now. He's not.
Yeah, I agree. We hope, though. We would like to see Jameis starting on all 32 teams as much as possible, I will say. Now, you're talking about insiders and how they have to go about doing their jobs. Connor has a question for you as a Spider-Man and how he has to go about doing his job.
Yeah, Aaron, happy Halloween. There was one performance in a place where you have raw land, and that would be Nashville, Tennessee. Will Levis got it the first start.
Oh, yeah, you were going to the Titans at one point.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Another season combo. And people kind of still think he might go there. Who knows, though? That's beside the point. How big is it for Will Levis to get that first win under his belt as a rookie? How do you think he's feeling, especially after, falling in the draft? And then on the other side of that, too, how big is it for Will Levis to have a wide receiver like DeAndre Hopkins where you can just throw it up and they won't call any penalties on him for OPI or anything?
Wow.
What a question.
Just curious.
What a question. Listen, I'm happy for the kid. He dealt with a lot of shit on draft day, didn't he? He was there, he showed up and didn't get picked, fell to the second round. Obviously lost a lot of money. Got kind of kicked in the from an ego standpoint. So really happy for him. The thing that I thought was amazing was he threw some freaking rainbows, didn't he?
Yes.
I mean, the last one he threw was a freaking hell of a throw. I don't know if you got the clip, but he rolled to his right and threw this rainbow across the field. This one right here.
That was the best one.
This was a hell of a throw. I mean, this ball, when he threw it, it couldn't have looked beautiful. I mean, it's just a perfect throw across the field. So, beautiful uniforms. Love the uniforms.
Oh, yeah. Love them. The best ones in the NFL, probably. Shout out Tennessee Titans having those ones.
Yeah, I think so. But awesome uniforms. And, I mean, you couldn't script any better. You go out, your first start ever, after you get picked later than you wanted to go. You got to deal with that embarrassment. And you go out and throw 4 touchdowns when no one's expecting anything from you, probably. I mean, good for Will. Happy for him. And, DeAndre is an incredible player. He is just one of those gamers. I've never heard of a guy, and I'm not sure what his practice habits are now, but there'd be a lot of weeks where he just wouldn't ever practice. And I've talked to Fitzy about this in Arizona, and he said this dude is incredible. I mean, the fact that he could not practice and go out and ball out every single week. And I've been a fan of Hop forever. You look at his stats and the 1,000-yard receiving seasons he's had, and you start to look at the quarterbacks. That
11 of them,
there was
12
no
of them.
consistency. There was no consistency ever, and he's putting up numbers with anybody. So, big shout out to D Hop. What a baller, and so much props, and just really happy for Will because. Man, you can't script your first starts. I don't think go any better than that. So he's got to be feeling great, happy for him, and also excited for Bryce Young. Bryce is an awesome kid, and it sucks when you go through stretches where you're really struggling as a team, and for them to get their first win, really awesome. So big congrats to Bryce, congrats to Will this weekend.
I think I saw Josh McCown kiss Bryce on the face after a big-time win.
Respect.
That was real excitement down there. A lot of the boys working real hard for a long time, get a big-time kick to win that thing. It's going to be hard not to lose your mind, maybe kiss whoever's next to you.
On the lips, or where was it?
No, it was like on the side of the head. It was like a close hug that I think lips just happened to touch head. It was very emotional. It was awesome. I enjoyed seeing Josh McCown down there mix it up because he was a big part of why we thought Bryce would have success. You got a lot of quarterbacks. Andy Dalton's down there. You got McCown down there. Frank Reich's down there. You got a lot of people around him that have played the position, a lot of snaps, a lot of people who have helped other people play the position of quarterback. And then for it to work and them to finally get to celebrate one time, good on them, Aaron. Good on him. And then what you were talking about D-Hop there, that was being chatted about whenever he was potentially up for trade to leave the Cardinals. Like, well, we don't know how he goes about doing his thing. And then the only people that were really interested in him were people that had already coached him. Like Vrabel coached him in Houston. It was like, he doesn't practice. We can get him to practice one day if we want, but also, does it matter? Have you seen what happens on Sundays? It's like the people that were familiar with him wanted him, and the people that weren't were maybe a little bit scared. There's just some guys that are different, and he feels like he's one. They're talking about him maybe getting traded today. They're talking about him maybe getting moved.
Well, I mean, it's such a fickle league, week to week. You crown people and you destroy people, and you're blowing things up or you're back at it. That's why I feel for Kirk, because there was a lot of shit around him, and a lot of people kind of dogging him and KOC and a lot of those guys on the team. And then he won a few games, and now it's like, they're going to make the playoffs. Look at their next 5 games. They got 5 winnable games in a row. So I feel bad for Kirk because I feel like he balled out against San Fran the other night too and was playing good at Lambeau. I've always had some great battles against him, but more than anything, just a lot of respect for him. So that sucks. But yeah, like I said, I think there's going to be a couple interesting moves as we go on. But one more thing about D Hop, if there's anybody in the league that has a similar personality that could recreate the Allen Iverson famous press conference about practice, D Hop is the man, because obviously that unicorn does not need any snaps of practice to be able to go out there and play at an all-pro level.
He wears 6X gloves, I think, or something. Like it's like his gloves are ripped. The 5X gloves are ripped.
Cheating.
Yes.
It's cheating. I mean, like, he doesn't even need them, number one. But
that one, the Hail Murray, his hand literally just sticks up in between like 8 of them. It's like the Undertaker coming back whenever they buried him alive. And he just sticks his hand, give me that thing. It's awesome. He was all the way back. Will would just throw it whenever he was covered. Other quarterbacks haven't been able to do that. Allegedly, Tannehill wouldn't do that. That's just some people's mentality. Like, Levis just has that mentality of, like, having faith in his guy more. Like, why does that happen, you think, Aaron?
I don't know. I mean, if I'm D-Hop, I might have said to him before the game, hey, young fella, just throw it up to me.
You know how this works.
Throw it up.
Yeah.
And if I'm a rookie quarterback and D-Hop says that to me, I'm probably going to do that. So who knows? I don't know if there's a conversation or if Will just said, F it. I'm going to throw this ball up as high and far as I can whenever I want and let this man go get it.
Hey, that was not pass interference, but also we need to you said F it. Huh?
Let's go, Aaron.
Huh? On his Halloween? That was awesome.
Hey, happy Halloween, guys.
Happy Halloween.
Hey, Edward Scissorhands has a question for you before we let you go, obviously. Seems like you're having a great day.
Hey, you said you went to
Thank you.
You had a watch reveal party last night for Zenith, I believe. I saw some pictures, all
Zenith.
the high rollers. Is it Zenith or Zenith?
Zenith.
Your Zenith watch that I'm sure is very, very affordable for the regular person to buy. I saw the event last night. Looked like there was some really, really high rollers. Did you really go dressed as the spiked protein, and how was the event?
That's a great question.
No, I had a suit on, no tie.
That's not you?
Thank you. That wasn't me. Yeah.
Really?
A little head and
All right,
arms sticking out?
That's journalism. We cleared it up. Okay.
Okay, good.
Thank you.
That is
We got
not what he
cleared
looks
up.
like.
Yeah.
Good question.
Yep. You fact-checked me with a Bill Gates funded fact-check organization. So
Oh!
yes.
Greg Doyle is going to be so mad right now.
I wore a teal suit.
What color is that?
Teal.
that brown? What is teal?
Of blue
brown?
and green. There's a blue and
Okay.
green combination.
Turquoise?
Yes, so
Turquoise.
yes, turquoise. Yeah. Yeah.
Cyan.
Turquoise, teal, whatever.
Teal?
Why are you laughing?
What was a stupid question?
The way you look right now is absurd. For everything, he was giving like a really serious answer earlier about like Achilles, and we went back to the 3-shot, and I just saw your face, and then I looked down here, and the TV's on here, and your face is on ESPN. I lost it, and then you go, "What is teal?" Like what that is?
I wasn't the only one that didn't know.
Okay.
I promise you
I'm
that.
proud of you. And teal's a good color. Teal's a good color out there.
Turquoise is a great color. Love it.
Let me ask you. I mean, I get everybody else's costume, but what the hell are you doing, AJ? Why?
Talking to me about what?
Yeah. Why?
I'm dressing up for Halloween, trick or treat. You ever heard of it? What do you mean? You got to get in the holiday spirit.
Do you have any like mitts with scissors on them? Like,
What do you mean? I've been wearing these all day. I had to take them off a little bit. I've been knocking everything down. I got double hands. I had them on.
This guy's double-handing it.
Yeah.
This guy's doing ski slopes with the scissors.
Easy.
This guy.
Double-sided.
It's unbelievable what he's got going on over there. He's committed to the bit.
Committed.
Last year he wore this terrible mask.
Brutal.
It was so terrible. It was bad. He was embarrassed by it because he spent a lot of money on it. He was embarrassed by the whole thing. I'm telling you, he did his makeup himself today, Aaron.
Yeah, dude.
I enjoy a good costume. I had a great one a couple years ago, AJ, at your house, if you remember, for that charity event. I wasn't actually in the same area of where those masks are, otherwise I would have wore those. But it was an ode to AJ's favorite movie, Eyes Wide Shut. So,
Oh, nice.
All right, that's good. Happy to hear that.
That's good.
Happy to hear that.
Everybody loves Tom Cruise. Everybody loves Tom
We
Cruise.
also saw a couple of your costumes over the last couple of years because remember that one, you were partying a little bit too close to other people.
That's right, John Wick.
Remember? You weren't supposed to be that close to people, and you clearly
I
were.
remember there was the 10,000 square foot warehouse with 20 people there, 19 of them vaxxed, and I obviously was putting them all in danger. So
Yes, you were. Thank you for acknowledging. Look at us. Happy Halloween.
Here we go.
Happy Halloween. All right.
I'd like to apologize for that.
Thank you.
Absolutely nobody.
Oh, okay. All right, maybe next week. Hey, maybe that's a good teaser for next week. Enjoy yourself. We appreciate you taking time on this Tuesday. Keep kicking ass on this Achilles recovery because obviously Kirk Cousins is reaching out to you. Others are going to continue to do so. This is good for sports in the future, Aaron. This is good for everybody.
Hey guys, just cherish the little things, okay? You know what I mean? Have a great day.
Oh, yeah.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe when you're trick-or-treating. If you're giving out candy, don't give out little shitty, things. Give some candy bars.
Oh, yeah.
Give some Reese's peanut butter cups out.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we need in this world. We need more sugar out there for the kids. So
That's right. What is your favorite candy? Is it Reese's?
yeah, Reese's peanut butter cups, maybe Starburst jelly beans or Starburst. The Reds. The Reds are really fantastic.
Pink's not bad.
Cherry.
You don't want that red dye.
I'll tell you what I don't like is Tootsie Rolls. Just regular old Tootsie Rolls.
That's that shit I don't like.
Amen.
Get it out of here. Yeah, I'm on your side. I didn't even know you were a quote board. Okay, get it. Cherish Little, he's a quote board. Oh, okay. 4-time MVP and a quote board. Ladies and gentlemen, the legend. Keep going, Aaron. We appreciate you. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah,